What's up guys, your boy Ash bringing a brand new Shindo Live video, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 weapons and like why that is. I don't really use a lot of weapons anymore after finding out that your fists are faster than your weapons. It's just faster for comboing since like I mostly play, well, I used to mostly play CC, and like we're just waiting on that to come back and all that. But yeah, we're just going to talk about my top 5 weapons that I do use sometimes in arena when I'm playing, I'm just playing around, messing around, and I found like certain combos with them that I enjoyed. And I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. So let's just get straight into the video. Before we start, I'm going to say 3 honorable mentions that I find very cool and that like I like to use, but I just, because of certain things, I'm not going to use them, and it makes it a little bit harder. One of them being the Shikunai. The Shikunai are pretty good having hit precision, and that means you need your mouse actually on the person to hit them. This right here, unlike other swords that's just auto track, this one requires some form of skill. So like if you have someone in the combo and everything, and like you're just piecing them out, right? With this, you need to be like precise with where your mouse is, because like it can go far, but the fact that like unlike other swords that are currently in game, you can't really do anything without being precise with your direction. So let's say if the person was right there and I was aiming over there, obviously I'd go over there. But like other auto tracks, it would obviously go to the person closest to me, and and all that. But again, like another thing about like the hit precision, that even though like I'm making it sound like not as great, again, if you have good aim and like you're that type of person and it's a good follow-up for your combos, since most of your combos are going to be in 1v1s anyways, so it's really not that bad. So yeah, it's still a cool sword. Definitely would like to have it. It's just not really my top 5 anymore. It used to be, but I just grew out of it, I guess. Next on the honorable mention list is the Acrobat style, aka the Killer Bee swords. Well, they used to be the Killer Bee swords, but this one I kind of outgrew because of one thing. These are good swords, but because of the end lag added after them, you can't really punch until like after a while. They're pretty good swords, it's just that like, and they got a decent fast attack speed, but like fists and everything and like the end lag, it just ruins the sword, and you can't like do your combos as you used to. So it's kind of like, it's still good, but like most of my combos are close combat and I don't do long range like that, so that kind of ruins it for me. Again, good swords, but the end lag makes it not usable in terms of like close range combos and everything. But it's still like good, like you can still like dodge out after you use them and everything. Once you use them, you can still like move away. But like besides that, I just don't like the fact that they added end lag. I think that the end lag added to the sword kind of ruined its purpose of being like such a close range sword. And yeah, that's really it. Alright, now we're on to the top 5 in my weapon list. So the first one being the Slayer sword, aka the old Executioner sword. This sword got buffed, and I don't really see a lot of people talking about it, but this sword's really cool. You can do a lot of combos, and unlike the Killer Bee swords, it doesn't have an end lag after it and everything. Like see, like it just goes and it auto tracks, so you can still do your combos, and it stuns them. Mind you, like if you know the stun I'm talking about, it has, where is it? It has the same stun as the Spirit Smash and everything, and it's just really a cool sword. You can like stun with it, bro. Like you stun them, then you do your M1 combo, and then you do your Q, and then you're just infinite stunning them there. That's like an infinite stun combo, and the fact that like the stun lasts even a little bit after the sword being there is kind of like broken. And yeah, this is a really cool sword, very good for like a lot of situations. The stun is great on it, and I really like using it a lot. And yeah, it's number 5 for a good reason. The swords that are above it are a little bit better in terms of combat ability and everything, and combo wise. But yeah, this sword is really good. If you have it, definitely like use it. It's a great sword for PvP. This is because of Genexus using it on me, so I know a little bit more about it than I would with normal swords. But yeah, that's my number 5. Alright, at number 4 we have the Ryan Kusanagi V2. This used to be number 1 in my old list of my favorite top 5 weapons. But after, with everything added and looking at the way the combat scheme is now, this has went down, like really down. It's not as good as I thought it used to be, and like combo wise, it's not that great either. Making you, because like some certain weapons have end lag, and this end lag is, even if you do that, you're still stuck for like a second and you can't really do anything. And even though like it does also stun your opponent for like maybe like even like half a second to a second, they're still able to like punch you, and once they punch you they can infinite combo you, especially if you meet someone who's using Hyuga, I mean Jokai, Doke, or Demon, just any of these clans with, you know, fast M1s, or M1s that will like, you know, make, that will hurt you. Like I don't know what the new name for what's it called, for Hoshigaki is, but those people will also hurt you. There's a lot of clans that can hurt you, I mean bloodlines that can hurt you, but this weapon just does not do it. It's still a good weapon for like, you know, ability wise, and you know, like getting away from people, and like it's just a good weapon because, you know, you have a lot of maneuverability with it. But besides that, combo wise, it's not that great. It's still a good sword, don't get me wrong. I would even replace this sword with my number 5 sometimes, depending on the situation. But I still think that overall this sword is better because it gives you more options. Because the, what's it called, the Slayer sword, while being a good sword and having a good stun and everything, it's still not as good with maneuverability wise, because again, if you do miss your initial, like, you know, slash of that Q spec, you're done. You're kind of just, you're just a sitting duck. You can't really block. Yeah, you're gonna be moving towards a certain direction, but if you are going against someone like Namikaze, they pop their time stop, then kind of gone, right? But with this, you have more maneuverability, and like even if they block it, they'll still, you know, get hit, and they'll still get, you'll still go behind them. So that's a very cool sword to have. Here we have the Demon Scythe. The Demon Scythe is a very good sword, and it resembles my number 1, which I'm pretty sure that's like a massive hint if you don't know what my number 1 is by now. But with this sword, the one thing that I would say that's really keeping it away from being number 1 is the fact that there's a knockback once you do your Q move, right? It's a good sword, same attack speed as, you know, every sword. Its Q move, you can hit the person and then it drags you towards them, but it has a knockback. It has great damage, but because of that knockback, it's not really a great combo starter. It's still a very good sword, don't get me wrong, like anything that can bring you closer to the opponent, even with the knockback, because you can follow a knockback pretty fast, especially if like, if someone, you do this and then like they knock back, but you like follow it up with that, you can still stun them and get them an infinite combo. It's a good way to, you know, shorten the distance between you and yourself and an opponent. It's just a very good sword overall. It has a lot of combat potential, but again, that knockback is also a deciding factor depending on things, because you can't have them in that infinite stun. Since again, if you can keep someone in infinite stun in this game, you literally won the battle. Like it's where sometimes I think that the game is more about like combat wise, because from what I've seen from people, is if you get someone in infinite stun, you literally won like the battle, and like the other half is whoever lands their infinite stun first. Hitting your infinite stun first is half the battle, and keeping them in that infinite stun is the entire battle, in my opinion. But that's just it. Doesn't really have anything to do with swords. But yes, a very good sword, does the damage you really want it to, and it has a decent knockback. The knockback's not too far. You can always follow it up with, what's it called, Ember Entry, I'm pretty sure it's called now. Yeah, that's really it. Not much to say about this sword, but it's really good sword, definitely deserving of its number 3 spot. It's also conditional because again, you can block it, but you can block almost anything except, you know, the 4th sword on my, you know, tier list, and the second one, which is coming right up. Number 2, the Shark Sword, aka Samehada, for you Naruto boys. This one is literally disgusting. I don't know. Like it's a great sword. It's just, it's good in all aspect. Nothing I can really say that's bad. The only issue that I used to have with it was that it was too slow. Well, not slow. It was just that when you did your Q, your animation would last too long, and they did fix that in like one of the prior updates, and that's very cool. And bro, this sword is just deadly now, with it being such a good AOE, and then you can target them, and then once like, even after your animation's gone, you can still hit them, and it takes away their chakra. Again, pretty busted in my opinion. Overall, it's a good sword to have for any sort of situation, whether that's a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. or even if you're in a 4v1 and you're by yourself, you can easily pop this and you can like kind of take away their chakra, kind of make the enemies, you know, not do certain things that they're going to be able to do. Because again, if they're doing hand signs while in the cloud, they will get hurt and everything. So that's really not a bad what's it called thing to have. And it's really nice overall. Yeah, that's pretty much it I have to say on the sword. It could be better if they reduce the animation a little bit more, but again, like you have like what, 4 seconds after you stop holding the sword, you stop doing the animation, and you have 4 seconds of miss still to do your combo. In 4 seconds a lot in this game. And number one we have the thread blade, aka the new Ibari, well, the new version of the new Ibari. Copyright issues gotta hurt, but what's it called, with the new Ibari, right, or thread blade, my bad, with this, it's just such a good sword overall. It doesn't shine in damage, but it's a very good utility sword, because if once you press the Q, it brings the person towards you, and then you can just start your combo, and then these are great infinite stun makers right here. This is a great infinite stun sword, and the fact, like, if you're using things with low hand signs, like, you know, the regular fireball, and then, you know, your clan, and then you just can't, you really can infinite stun with this sword, bro. And the worst thing is, with this sword, there's also a second stun for the person that gets dragged, so like you can do, again, infinite stuns. It's literally just a stun starter, not really bad issues. The only bad thing is that, like most swords, if you do block it, its effect is pretty much like, you know, ruined. But again, like if you start them, it shines when you're like comboing them, and then they have that knockback, and you bring them in, and then you just continue your combo, and it's so disgusting. Overall, I think that this is probably the best sword in the game, and it's too disgusting. It does not, like, especially like if you were part of the CC, you would see like people like Alpharex use the sword, and it was just so annoying, bro. Like, because he would just drag you back in after like doing like a good portion of your health, and would just continue his combo and go for the second round of his combo. It was just, I don't know how this man lost with the sword. I really don't. Oh wait, never mind. I do. Uchiha auto dodge. I mean Akuma auto dodge. Copyright. But yeah, that's really it, guys. This is my top 5 swords. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and maybe this gives you some insights into certain swords. I know that it doesn't cover the entire, like, you know, sword list, and I might make a video on that eventually. I don't know, but I hope this helps you see like my top 5 swords, and maybe gives you insight on some sword that you could use in a combat or in arena. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, or at whatever time it is, or a good night, depending on what time you're watching this.